got rejected from art college, and it was devastating, but probably not for the reason you think. You might be wondering why I got rejected from art college, considering I'm a fabulous artist. And it's a really simple reason, and it really has nothing to do with me or my talents. So my art teacher was a fabulous art teacher. I loved her. I loved having art class with her, painting, drawing, whatever. I loved my art teacher. I loved my art class. And my art teacher loved me too. And she was a great teacher. She wanted the best for us. And so she took me and two other girls to the local art college in the state. It was about 45 minutes away. She got permission from all of our parents to take us for a tour to this art school, and it was fabulous. So she took me and these two other girls. We all got in her little Prius, which at the time the Prius was like the new big thing, and it was kind of like interesting and cool to be in this like hybrid electric car. And she took us to McDonald's, so we got to have food, and it was a really fun day. And then we got to the college, which I said was about 45 minutes away, and I loved this college. It was gorgeous inside. It was a really small college in the middle of a city, but it was really cool inside. And it was a specialty college. It was an art college, obviously. They're gonna have a limited number of students that are gonna come every year, so it wasn't a big college. And, you know, we got to meet some of the students that were there. We got to meet, we got to go into different rooms. I loved the sewing room. They had 6 industrial sewing machines, and I was there with my hand sewn on buttons onto my jeans, all denim look, and they loved me, and they were like, you would totally fit in here. And then we went down to the color theory class, and they were like, you would totally pass that. My art teacher was like, you would ace this class, you wouldn't even have to take it. And I was just like, this is so awesome, I'd be so good here. And the college students were cool. My glasses are fogging up. We were just these little freshmen that were coming to look at, or freshmen, we were high school seniors coming to look at this college, and they were excited for us to be there. Of course, they wanted us to come. They were like, this is such a great college, we love being here. There's this one guy who had graduated. He had a job with Nike or something, and he had come back to talk to people about how, do a course at the school. And he talked to us about it. He's like, oh, they're gonna help you get a job outside of college. You're gonna be something in the creative field. It's gonna be awesome. And we were loving it. The three of us, we'd been in art class together for a few years, and so we were just all excited to go. We really wanted to go. And the essential reason why our art teacher took us there is because they had it was a 3-year program, but they had, I think it was $80,000 for the whole program, and they didn't have enough people who signed up for their $30,000 scholarship for the first year. And so my art teacher, that they had gotten in contact with my art teacher and said, hey, do you have any students that would want to come if we offered them into this program? We don't have enough students who even applied to it. Can you get some students to come here and apply to for this scholarship so we can give away a free tuition, essentially? And so my art teacher was like, yeah, totally. I have 3 girls I could bring by this week. Let's do it. And so we went up, and we met with this recruiter who was in charge of getting people into the scholarship program and all that. And he looked at all of our portfolios, and we literally scrounged our portfolios together within 2 or 3 days with stuff that we had made. So I had really crappy photographs that I had printed out from Kinko's or whatever, because Kinko's was still around. And I had these really crappy photographs of portraits in my portfolio. And so this recruiter is like looking through my portfolio and he's totally not impressed. And then my art teacher, she touches his arm and she goes, "She drew that with a pencil." And he goes, "Oh, I thought that was a really bad picture. Oh, I didn't realize that's just a bad picture of a drawing." And so he was very impressed with my portfolio. And like after he looked at all that, like his attitude towards me was like, "I want this girl. I want her in my art program. She's a phenomenal artist. Let's get her." And so we all went into, after, you know, touring, we went into his office to do like applications and stuff. Hey, sweetie. And so it was essentially, there was a $50 application fee. And I didn't have $50 on me. My art teacher can't just give me the $50 to apply, even though she would have loved to, because it totally wouldn't be fair to the other kids. So they made me call my dad to try and get the $50 application fee so I could put in and apply for this $30,000 scholarship so I could go to the college. And there was a pretty good chance I would have got that since the recruiter really was impressed with my portfolio. But my dad's an asshole. So my dad argued with this recruiter for probably a half hour on the phone in front of these two other kids that I went to school with, who, like, everybody knew I had a bad family relationship. They knew I didn't like my dad. They all knew there was something weird with my mother, who had harassed one of the ladies in the office so bad she quit. Like, people knew I didn't have a good relationship with my dad. So when they were like sitting there, and these two girls were like the really, really sweet goody two-shoes kind of girls, and like listening to my dad was, I could tell, very uncomfortable for them. And if I were more of an embarrassed, shameful person, I would have been mortified. At the time, I was just angry, because anger is my like primary emotion, especially at the time. So I was just angry, but like I still feel bad for those two girls having to like sit through and listen to this argument that my dad had with the recruiter. And this recruiter was, he was good at his job, which means he was very pushy, very scammy, and was like, "Oh, well, I'm still paying off my student loans," and he's some like 50-year-old man who probably should have paid off his student loans years before. But he probably couldn't get a decent job with an art degree, and so he probably couldn't pay them off. But so my dad was arguing with him. And ultimately, this guy was able to get my dad to, over the phone, give a credit card number so he could pay a $50 application fee so I could apply to the college, and so that I could put in for the scholarship. And it was great. We all went home. We were, you know, having a good time in the car on the way home. We were all happy. And then like 2 weeks later, I got a rejection mail. I got a rejection letter in the mail. And I already knew I was rejected, because after we left, my father went and called the school and had that $50 application refunded. And I told my art teacher about it, and she's like, "That's really crappy, Christine, and you're probably gonna get a rejection letter in the mail from that." And she's like, "It has nothing to do with your artistic ability. It has nothing to do with whether they wanted you or not." She's like, this is not you." And like, still getting that letter was kind of devastating, because it's like, I would have loved to go to the art college. I would have loved that. I would have had so much fun there. I would have been a good student. I would have, you know, I would have gotten that scholarship. Like, maybe I wouldn't have gotten that one specifically, but I feel like I would have had a good chance of even getting that scholarship. And so I might have even had my first my first year paid for, and I might have even been able to get another scholarship after that, or maybe I could have got a job and saved up money to pay for the rest of it. And like, I would have done that. Like, I would have been a hard worker. I would have done everything I could to get more and more and more scholarships so I could have gotten. But ultimately I got rejected. I couldn't even try that because my dad was such an asshole that he refunded the $50 application fee, and I could not go to art college. I got rejected from art college. I thank you all for watching my video today. This is one of multiple parts of the Why I Didn't Go to College series, but I will be posting a full video at the end if you just want to watch everything all at once. So, subscribe to my channel so you either get the notification when every piece comes out or when the big one comes out at the end. If you guys like this video, please like the video. Let me know down in the comments why you didn't go to college, or why you regret going to college, or even how great your college experience was, because that's fine too. But I will see you guys next time.